So what are some of the video techniques that you can help to confer the faith-based messages that would really somehow be of resonating deeply with both the believers and the non-believers?
The first one that David from Davasha always teaches us is script. Do not shoot without a script. Why is a script important? A script tells you what's the objective of this. Why are we creating this? So you'll try and answer questions like, who's the target audience? Who are we speaking to? Where is this content going to be used? What format is this content going to take? Is it going to be a short video? Is it going to be a long format video? Is it going to be a highlight video? So a script gives you kind of the what. What are we doing? And why this is important is even as you're going through the production and the preparation of that content, and this is not just for, how do I say this? This is not just for big productions. Even for you who's just looking for content for your own platform, you have to learn how to script. If you've ever worked with different creatives, one of the things they will ask you for is what we call a creative brief. And the first question in a creative brief is usually, why are we creating this? And that helps to get everybody on board, whether you're the video guy, whether you're the sound guy, whether you're the photography guy, whether you're the content guy, whoever you are, it helps to get everybody aligned and on board in terms of what they're doing. So step one, always have a script. It could be something as simple as using a Word document, just answering the question, why am I creating this? So always have a script. The second thing is have structure. If you've gone through the education system in Kenya, you've done a composition. What are the parts of a composition?
Introduction, middle, body. Introduction, body, conclusion.
Exactly. So even when you're creating your content, that is the same thing. What's the introduction? What's the body? What's the conclusion? You always have to think about your content in terms of that structure. So the introduction is, what's the hook, as David put it? What am I going to use to get people to pay attention? Could be something as a question, or it could be something as simple as a greeting or a conflict, or introduce a conflict in that conversation. So whatever it is, have an introduction. Then have a body. A body is where you resolve the conflict you have given. For instance, if we're going to be talking about reaching out in the 21st century, sharing the gospel of Christ in the 21st century, maybe that's the topic. That's what we want to discuss. And you use something like an introduction like, getting born again is not complicated. It can be as simple as 1, 2, 3. Now in your body, you go into the 1, 2, 3. Now once you've given them what that 1, 2, 3 is, don't just leave them hanging. What's the conclusion? A conclusion has to include something we call a call to action. What do you want them to do after you have solved that problem or highlighted that problem? Tell them, this Sunday, I invite each and every one of you to join me and my friends for a fellowship just for you. Give them the time, give them the place, give them the how. So, 1, you've done your script, so you've identified what you're doing, why you're doing it. 2, you have defined the structure. Number 3, always evoke emotion. We are all emotional beings. We like things that make us feel a certain way. There's a quote I really love that people will hardly remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So as a creative, always evoke emotion. It can be good emotion, it can be sad, it can be, I'm not even sure how to feel about that. But always evoke emotion. Now, if you're a creative like me, who doesn't know how to be very loud and very in your face, you have to develop the skill of evoking emotion. So it could be something like, growing up, I hardly had a meal a day. It was a struggle, and I hated it. I resented my parents for the way I grew up. That's your start. You guys are thinking, sukona issues. But you have evoked an emotion. It could be an emotion that somebody relates with. Somebody is there thinking, even me kidego, I resent my folks. Somebody is thinking you've got too many issues. So whatever it is, always evoke an emotion. So those are the things that I use personally as I create stories. I try to have a script at all times. I always use a structure. What's my introduction? What's my body? What's my conclusion? And I always try and evoke emotion.